every day this month of March, I'm going to be drawing something from a how to draw book. I can't tell you how many how to draw books I've had in my life, but it's not too different from any of the other arts that I've tried or even excelled at. Whether it's music, movies, photography, drawing specifically, I'll have the intention to start it. And then that inner critic just pops out and makes every little step more difficult. And that compounds to the point that I quit. And then I get miserable because I quit. And people that know me know I'm a creative guy. And I'm not doing creative things. And that's I'm just hazing myself. But it's gotten to the point in my life where I've met new people, made new friends, but they don't know I'm a creative person. And they find out like, oh, you play guitar? Whoa. It's like a shock to them. I realize I'm losing it. I'm losing those abilities in that form of expression. And I think everyone needs some form of creativity. I just so happen to have basic, rudimentary skills and in at least several of them. And I have an abundance of passion to use them all. So I've been burdened by not doing them. It's been very painful. At some point in this journey of self-hazing, of depriving myself of a simple pleasure, I discovered who's to blame. It was me. I did it. Foolish man. So I wrote about it today in this notebook, which was also something I was depriving myself of for a long time. I love writing, and for years I wasn't writing. I love reading. For years I wasn't reading. So the first thing I picked back up was reading. And then the things I read, I needed to process it, so I wrote about it. I've been doing that for just over a year now. Well, here we are, adding a new old thing back into the routine. I got the camera, and you're gonna see some drawings accompanied with this video that I was working on from that How to Draw book, which I'm gonna do every day. I've done it all in a day. So you're gonna be seeing this by the end of the day. I don't care if you actually watch it. I don't care if you listen to it, you appreciate it, you like it. Trust me, the inner critic hates it more than you. But if you like it, that's okay. That's great too. You don't have to like it. You don't have to keep watching. This is for me. Okay. I'm gonna read this, and then I'm gonna wish you well. The moment I valued opinion over curiosity was the moment I let art die in my life. It happened when I was young. Well, as a child, I loved to play with my imagination. How unique. My mother showed me the world of music, playing the soundtrack to my life, each car ride to school. My father showed me movies, where the music connected to the visuals. I would imitate characters through impersonation as a kid. One of the most memorable ones was Steve Irwin. Without hesitation, I would enthusiastically perform my best Aussie accent to a crowd, whether my class, family. No filter, no concern, no anxiety to impress. Just living in the moment. My toys became an extension of me through my imagination. Fast forward, 2004, I got a guitar. I accepted it begrudgingly, as my true interest at the time was to get a drum set to be like my brother. But my sister wanted a guitar, and her birthday was 1 month sooner. So 2004 Tanner was very upset about this as he played his brand new guitar. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Fate was sealed as my imagination, that thing we've been talking about, it was channeling itself through the guitar. And that imagination reverberated throughout the walls of the home, all coming from the basement, because I stayed in the basement basically for the last 4 years of my childhood, just playing that guitar. I put in a lot of time. Got pretty good. Shredding. In 2007, I got my first camera. I specifically chose one that had the mini DVDs as the recording because I thought that was going to be the way to make sure that it gets all done in-house, in the camera, in the moment. Even then, I hated editing. And I didn't even know what editing was. I'm just like, I'm doing it right now. Because I was all about the performance and just capturing that performance. Artist. I had a friend that was already making videos. His name is Zach. He's alright. I wanted to fit in so badly. I kept trying to get on his videos with his other circle of friends. And eventually they let me in. I wasn't like first draft, all right? I had like a weasel my way into that circle. Freshman year, Zach and I felt essentially like celebrities. As we were going through the halls, people would be like, "Ooh, we saw your video, that was so funny." I'm talking classic hits. Spider-Man's Spring Break. Chappie Appleseed. The Curse of Silent Javi. Rosie's Crib. Part 3. There was a part 3. Obviously not too much of a hit. I forgot the one. We were named after tubes of toothpaste. Oh. There was some good ones, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. There were some good hits. And it was making a positive influence in our area. Like people in our town knew about us. We would be making videos like on the street in our tiny little town, and that was cool. People were like, those are the YouTube kids. They probably didn't think we were cool. They probably thought we were really freaking weird, but we felt cool, and that's what mattered. So we kept going, we kept pushing, and kept making these ideas more funny, more entertaining, and we try to keep increasing the production value. We were writing scripts, We had ideas for post-production, like making cool things. We were on track to be what I think would be equivalent to Balloon Shop. If you don't know, I'm going to just put some links in the description down below. So we were pretty cool, but by junior year, I was getting so obsessed with the video making that I think I was kind of like scaring away. Scaring might not be the right word, but like pushing away my friends and kind of not necessarily friends, but peers, other people in the school with us. So junior year, I was getting bullied about the videos. About not so much about playing guitar, because that is pretty cool, but I was getting made fun of for the music I was making, like the band, the fact that I was in a band, the band name, the song names, the recording quality of the music. I was getting critiqued. And with the video, like bullying, it was like straight up childish stuff, just like pointing and laughing because you were doing something fun, like something kids would do. They'd make fun of you, right? So I felt like I'd been leveling up. I went from the basement with my guitar to getting on stage and playing before or during choir recitals or with the band. So I was getting used to playing with a crowd, comfortable, and the videos were getting pretty popular. There was a couple of videos, Super Slip and Slide Dance Party, that was one. It had like, I think 2,000 or 3,000 views. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I just started getting like the slightest bit of feedback that was not even productive. It was just like, you suck. Like being told you suck. And look, I was not experiencing bullying for the first time. I'd been bullied before. But this was the first time that I listened to it. It's like there was a chink in the armor, and it just found a way through. And it hurt. I felt shame, and I felt like a bozo. I felt like a real loser for having hobbies. Grown-up me hears that and thinks like, I felt like a loser because I had hobbies. Oh, have the tables turned. Stand by. So I deleted the channel that had our videos on it. And then I quit the band project. The one that had the name that people were making fun of and all this stuff. I just quit. I isolated my imagination to stay within the confinements of my own mind. Unbeknownst to me, till this very morning when I started writing this down, nearly 16 years later, I discovered that that was the critical blow to the creativity. The very next day after I deleted the YouTube channel, the exact individuals making fun of me were the ones the most upset that I deleted it. I can still, I have the visual memory. I'm in the hallway, and I see his face. He's looking at me like, deleted it. Why? So then I was stupid for deleting it. I was stupid for making this stuff, and then I was stupid for deleting it. So I felt like a loser twice. Double shame. So now I'm just doing... So from that moment forward, every artistic project would fizzle out, would fade before it ever met completion. The lack of drive and abundance of doubt were more palpable than any sense of reality coming from my ideas. Not just for me, but for anyone else. Like I would want to make videos, or I had ideas for short stories. I had ideas for a series, feature film. I wanted to be a movie guy, and I talked to plenty of people on the internet and in my town, local people that had similar skill sets and interests to work on certain projects. And I got people involved on all of these projects that never left like step 2 or step 3 of the journey. And eventually that became my reputation around those little artistic circles. I'm not really about it. So after graduation, that was supposed to be the time I believed to be my window of opportunity, because school wasn't holding me back. Because it was such a burden to not have a job and hang out with your friends every day. I fumbled every single project and grew miserable and bitter towards myself. For over a decade, I stared at blank pages, empty projects, and silent instruments. I went through seasons of buying equipment and materials, intending and imagining myself creating again, anxiously waiting for the right moment to start. Then, springing into action of doing that thing, but only as a test, and the inevitable piling on of self-loathing until I discard myself of the tools and abandon the methods. So when I had the tools, they collected dust. And when I reset and endeavored to use my skills, I was so rusty, my inner critic ruined every effort towards self-expression. When I met my daughter on her birthday, my purpose was discovered, and I struggled to find purpose in art. I no longer pursued fame, and I found a career path to obtain the modern needs of income, healthcare, and shelter. With my purpose of fatherhood, I learned how to achieve financial peace at an early age. There was no appeal to becoming a celebrity. So why invest time, money, and effort into art? I retired and declared that artsy-fartsy side of me was officially dead and gone. But just like Palpatine, somehow he returned. On my main quest line of fatherhood and being a good man, the creativity remained dormant, but still present. I couldn't get rid of it completely. I couldn't just delete the folder out of my freaking head. I tried imagining a life with all my priorities in order versus how they were positioned in day-to-day life. Art was not the pinnacle like when I was 16, but it humbly rested somewhere in the middle, much higher than the position I had stooped down to for years. I watched a collection of short stories called Tatsuki Fujimoto 17, Tac 26. I might be saying that wrong. I'm sorry. I'm new to good anime stuff or whatever. A collection of stories from his youth that remained unfinished for years. And here I was thinking, I'm all alone in this. But I have a job now. I got a family and obligations, blah, blah, blah. You never see procrastinating a top priority on anybody's list. But you know how that goes. somehow it ends up being the first thing you do. How do I trick my brain to replace doom scrolling with something good? Look, you cannot trick yourself forever. Surely there must be a way. How can I shut that inner critic up? Well, who's letting him speak in the first place? You seem to have no trouble shutting up the inner child. That's all this is. You let the grown-up win. No funny business. No laughing or having fun. I am the one in charge of this mind. Pharma hasn't got me yet, and neither has Mother Nature or Father Time. I shall flip the switch as I see fit, from grown up to kid. There are people with the opposite problem in life. Some don't know there's a switch. Others don't have a switch. So let's be grateful. So here I am, learning how to draw, recording it as I go, making some music, writing out my thoughts, and trying to make sense of this thing called life. Adding in this as commentary with some editing skills, oh my goodness, and I'm finishing the video, I finished it. Well, I gotta actually put the thing in the computer and do the thing. Sunset, sunrise, and freaking, what else? Portrait, portrait. We'll see. Okay, and then we'll keep working with this one. Like and subscribe. Because, you might miss out on another one of these.